And the next module is about branches. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a branch is a component with which you can control the flow of the application. So it will take the user to the next page after a submit. There can be more than one branch on a page, but it will execute the first opportunity of a branch it can. So Apex just goes through the list from top to bottom, and the first branch it can execute, it will. It's kind of a redirect. So there are different branch types. Normally a static page will do, but you can use PLSQL options to figure out to what page the user should be redirected. Most of the branch points are on submit, so they are in the processing phase of the page. And normally they will execute after all page processing has completed. One fires on page load. For example, you can use that as a dispatcher. If a user logs in and goes to page 1, then on page 1 you can have a number of branches where an administrator is taken to page 10 and a normal user is taken to page 1000. Or you can try to remember and store what the last page of a user was, and after login you can redirect him to that same page. So use as a dispatcher. So what's the difference between a redirect button versus a branch? The redirect button simply renders the target page. So it is just like a link on a page. But for a branch, the page must be submitted. So the user must choose save or create, and then after the processing, the branch will fire. And remember, after a page submit, the first thing that happens is session state binding. So the big difference between a redirect button and a branch, the branch will have session state binding and a redirect button will not have session state binding. And after a submit, of course, also the computations, validations, and processes will fire. Example. We are in employees. We open up an employee. We are in page number 10. And on page number 10, we have, let's go back to the page, not this one. We have a cancel button and we have an apply changes button. Our cancel button, let's have a look. Our cancel button redirects to the page in an application. So if I change this to salesman and I hit cancel, then I'm just being sent back to page 9. If I now open up the same, and I believe it was Clark, no, it was Smith, then you see that the job was not saved because there is no session state binding with a page redirect. If, however, I choose to use apply changes, what happens then? Then we are going to the processing phase. It will do the validate. First of all, it does the session state binding. Then it does the validations, the processes, and the last thing it does is to go back to page 9. So the branch will execute after all the session state binding, validations, and processes have completed. Here is the branch, and that cancel button had a simple redirect on it. So that is the big difference between the two. What you need to remember with branches is that you need to have a look and a good thought about the ordering of the branch. You can have more than one branch, and the first branch that meets a condition is executed. And there is a tick box with the branch attributes where you can say to show the process success message in the target page. Go back here, there's a go to page. It goes to page 9. And I believe it's in advanced. The success message should be set to yes. Action processed. Yeah. It was Smith. Let's put that off. Okay. Save. So the only thing I did now is to set the success message to no. I changed Smith back into a clerk. I apply changes. It'll complain about my maximum exceeded again. And you don't see a success message now. Yeah, Smith is a clerk again, but there is no success message. So that is done by setting this success message to yes. Let's try to implement a branch. We have a create button in department, do we? We don't. Can we open up a department? Yes. So this is page number 16. And I'm going to add another button that says create again. So where I'm going to put that next to create, it's going to show up. It will submit the page and do an insert, and it'll only show up when an item is null, and the item will be department number, save, and I'm going to create a branch. Ooh, bad example, because we're in a model. Employees. Employees, we have a create button here. Yes, we do. So on this page, on page 10, I will create a new button. Create again. Create and create another. I will want to have it in the create position. It will submit the page. It will do an insert action. And I only want to see it when an item is null. And the item in question is the employee number. Save. Let me see how that looks. I do have a create and create another. At the same time, I'm going to get rid of that stupid validation. Delete. Delete. I believe this one is the correct one. Yep. So now I'm going to create a branch. Normally the page goes to page 9 after a submit. I create a new branch. Go to 10 after create again. Yeah? I'm going to page 11. I will reset page 11 because I want it to be empty again. And I want this to be executed after the user hits create again. Save. Employee combo. Let's create a new one. Martens Apex consultant manager. Ooh, we need to find out what manager. King. King is 7839. I should remember that. 7839. Salary. And create another. So when I hit this, I expect the record to be saved, and I expect to return to the same page. Am I correct?
It's not going to work
Why not?
because you put page 11 instead of page 10.
Okay. Yes, you're right. 10. 10. Okay. Save. So now it should work. A really sharp observation. So who was that, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's going to work.
Save.
Create and create another. Well, it is created, but I'm back on page 9. Why is that? Let's delete this one.
Because you're going back to page 9 at some point.
So
redirecting, yeah.
Again, yes. The thing is that my ordering is incorrect. So it goes from top to bottom. It sees go to page first. It executes go to page 9, and it did exactly that. So the only thing I need to do is to move this one over, save it, create again. I'll create myself again. 7839. Ooh. Apex 7839. Create and create another. Ta-da! So this does illustrate the fact that you need to take care of the ordering of the branches. And a simple way to have a look at that, because sometimes branches can be 5, 6, 7 at the same time. If you have a good look at this blue one, you'll see that it's an italic. An italic means it has a condition on it. The go to page 9 is not italic, which means it does not have a condition on it. And when we're looking at branches, only the last one should be without a condition. All others should have a condition. If there are two that don't have a condition, the last one will never get executed. Well, it's a quick check to see. There's a question coming?
No, I'm just trying to think about what you just said. If there's two without a condition, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Then it only takes the first one. Yeah, if I get rid of this condition, now both are non-italic, then only the first one will be executed. The go to page 9 in this case will never get executed because it sees the first one, it executes the first one, and then stops. Right, you can set either the condition with a when button pressed, or you can do something like request equals value, and this was create again. Remember that the request is the name of the button. This does the same thing. This does the same thing as request equals create again. Okay? So what does the workshop ask us to do? To create a... Okay, on page 11, we are going to create a button on the create position. So let's do a text hot on the create position. It will be called create again, create and create again. Hot, it will do a database action insert. Otherwise, the initial insert won't happen. And we need a branch on this page. Oh, and a condition. The condition P11 ID is null. Create again. Conditions. Item is null. And the item is ID. Save. Run. Create new, create and create again. Take another one. I only have save existing. That is exactly what I need to have. And now a branch. I create a branch. Remain at page 11. Oh, the branch name should be create and create another. And the branch should take the user back to 11 on the same page with a success message. So a page or URL, no, a page or URL, page in
The
this.
sequence.
Yes,
the
I'm
sequence
going to change the sequence on the last as last. So we're going to remain on 11, and we will set the success message to yes and clear the cache of 11. Yeah. Well, here it says to set the P11 ID to null. So that would also work. P11 ID to null. Then I don't need the clear page because the row fetching process will do the rest for me. Okay. and I need to be sure that it hits before the go to 10, and I need a condition on it. When button pressed, create again. Save. We are going to create one. Apex intro course. Create and create again. HTML and CSS course. Create new. And both are entered. Yes, everybody had the same result?
Yep.
Good. One other thing we can do with branches, as an example, I have here two pages, employees and the employees combo. One is an interactive report, this one, and the other one is a classic report. Yeah, both are going to page number 10, the form. This is the form on page 10, and this is also a form on page 10. Yeah, but if I now save, let's go back to employees. I open up, so I'm on the first item here. I open up an item, I apply changes, and now it sends me back to the second item. Yeah, let's see what I can do about that. I edit page 10. There is a branch taking me back to page 9. But instead of page 9, I'm going to use up previous page. If I now am in employees, I open up Smith, I apply changes, I'm taking back to my employees again. See?
Hmm.
And also the branch on, or the redirect on cancel, I want to go back to ampersand up previous page. So I'm sorry, employees. I'm in employees. I open up an employee. I'm on page 10 now. I hit the cancel and I'm being sent back to the correct place. If I'm in the combo, in the classic report, I open up my form, I hit cancel, and I'm being sent back to the classic form. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
was the whole trick of creating those application items and the process on it and everything there. So, and remember, because this is a string, it's not PLSQL, it's not SQL. Therefore, I'm using the ampersand period format and not the colon format. This won't work. This will. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, those are all my submits on the page. It works. It works. That's good.